In this video, we speak about our project, the robotic prosthesis.
Over the years, the technology is incremented and makes the new needs. This makes them innovate and design new things, also thinking about those people with disabilities.
Thanks to science and technology, we have been avoid problems and also fix them. Thanks to processes, a person can have unnatural harms or a food, but not only the external physical body, but also the internal part of the body. But the science behind each of these is fundamentally a world of knowledge. But what is a process?
Good question. A prosthesis is an artificial substitute for a missing body part, but in the singular and in the plural, not being the only one that help the human being, because there is also the orthosis that is a support or other external device applied to the body to modify the functional aspects or structural of the neuromusculoskeletal system. Yes.
Okay. The purpose of a prosthesis is to replace a part of the body that has been amputated without cause of agencies, restore the loss due to amputation, some congenital malformation, recover the image, and partial restoration of the center of gravity.
Yeah. The proteins are classified in two. The first is the endoprothesis, which are those that require surgical procedures for their replacement. The other are the exoprotheses, which are those that, contrary to the endoprothesis, can be removed than the exoprothesis. There are the motor ones, which are executed in a simple action, and then sensors ones where these both extremities report their relationship with the environment automatically, where the amount of force that must be applied by the locomotive is calculated.
Design is essential in the construction of anything, but for prostheses it goes beyond the simple science. It must consider the psychology of the human body. Science it is very complex, thus so many variables must be taken into account, and for this you need to strengthen yourself in mathematics, but for it to have a good design and the type of material that will be used, and the most common today are 3D prints. Science is something cheap and it doesn't need so much manufacturing. Let's put in another way, it's a little more homemade but functional.
Yeah, engineers use software manufacturers like Autodesk, which is used generally in design of medical implants for the orthopedic industry, as well as the SolidWorks program, where the engineers makes plans for the prototyping and it's three-dimensional. That's cool. But both programs allow you create a simulation of it, also indicating the material, the weight, the movement that it generates, the texture, among others. Technologies such as 3D printing are integrated for the manufacture of custom prostheses. When it comes to industry, they adopt that adopt 3D printing. One of the first supports of the technology is, of course, the medical sector. With 3D printing, the benefits are much greater. What is
Um, First of all, of course, the processes can be perfectly adjusted to the patient thanks to the possibility of customizing the part. In addition to having a low manufacturing cost, 3D printing can manufacturing more than one part of much more affordable. 3D printers in the manufacture of prostheses cut production time. Manufacturing times are reduced to less so that you can practically have an hat ready in one day.
The application of these systems, for obvious reasons, is for the anatomy of a living being of all age. This is application for the entire human being or for animals, although the construction and processes of the material is so expensive. But the majority of amputations, around 90% of occur in patients over 65 years of age, and the main causes are usually vascular pathologies. They are therefore amputated and sick patients, but also younger people and even children have these disabilities. These patients will severely limit pre-amputation activities.
We consider it necessary to design and subsequently develop a low-cost prosthesis to interact with keyboards because it will provide a greater degree of autonomy to the amputee. In this way, the amputee would not only perform office work that required the use of computers, but could also reduce their stress by playing video games or playing keyed instruments such as a piano, for example.
Without about, they're one of the best innovations of the present time and are still being developed to be more comfortable and also accessible to all people, including some of these prostheses already use sensors that are connected to the brain, so they are getting closer to returning the sense of the touch of the patients. Regarding the development and creation of our robotic prostheses, sometime later we hope to be able to do a project of this type. Thank you for your attention, and that's all, teacher. Goodbye.